top. Yeah, man, you know me well, man. It's Hard Leather. I'm back. Brady. Yeah.
Yo, it's your man Hard Leather Stargiela, man.
Yeah.
South District, came up. Third word, Big Queens. I'm rocking with Ashley Tiffaney, man. Stay on TV. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hey everyone, you're watching Stay on TV. I'm your host Ashley Tiffaney, and we're back at IMI Studios for a special sit down. I want to say probably the most long-awaited sit down.
Right.
Stay on TV started since my transition from Stay on Radio to Stay on TV. So I'm happy to announce and introduce Stargiela.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
My gosh, this is like a long time coming.
I feel relieved finally doing this because we were supposed to do this for so long. And, you know, I ain't really want to tell my story with too many different people, you know. I rock with you.
I appreciate that. So you're working right now. I see it like that. The last time you spoke, not like the last time you spoke, but the last time we seen each other, we were in New York. Here actually.
Right.
And then I remember I asked you like how you feel, and you was like, "Oh, I'm just trying to get out of New York."
Yeah.
How you feel right now?
Well, it's different now. I'm locked into New York. Like I haven't left. I've been here since August.
Okay.
And haven't been going since. And got a family, started a family, so I'm kind of locked in here now. But music, I feel like everything's coming back to the essence of, you know, the homeland and just where it started. And I didn't feel like that at first. I kind of felt like I had to get elsewhere for inspiration.
Right.
But I'm starting to feel it more now here. Like I'm starting to get grounded back here and feel like what made me start it. You know what I'm saying? My inspirations from young.
Right.
So I like it here more now than ever, to be honest.
Wow. Well, first off, I want to say congratulations.
Thank
on
you very
everything.
much. I appreciate it.
With your family, new music out, and just being back in New York, you know, you can't forget your hometown. So
nah, never.
But that's good that you feel like grounded now. Like, where were you at 2-3 years ago?
I mean, like you said, we was here last time I seen you. Nipsey died that day. I was distraught. Even like when it happened, you know, I didn't really believe it. Last time you saw me, I still didn't believe it. I had to go home and really sit on that. And so from then, I went, you know, I was dealing with legal issues, just so much that like was taking me away from, you know, my calling and my profession and even my family and friends, like just trying to find a way. So I feel like from then to now, I've definitely just found myself. I found that comfortable space of like, all right, I'm back in it for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scrambling about nothing. I'm not tripping over nothing. Everything's on God's time. You know what I'm saying?
And you feel like at peace, kind of.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Because I feel like when we were trying to plan this interview, it was 2 years ago, mad stuff was going around. Denzel knows you, but because I speak about you a lot, and then a lot of interviews we done, your name was mentioned. But it's just like, I think we were putting too much pressure on it. And it wasn't flowing right.
Yeah, definitely. Everything was all over the place.
And now when I just like, I told Denzel I hit you up like a few days ago. And now we're just here.
I'm like, let's do it.
So it's just like easy going and stuff like that. But do you ever feel like pressure, since we just coming out of a pandemic and then you're an artist, being on social media and stuff, you got to keep up with like trends and stuff like that?
Absolutely. As a human.
When I see you on IG, I'll be like, oh, Star's back.
Right.
So like, how do you handle the pressure?
I think as a human, we all gonna go through it no matter what, some way, somehow. I try to act like I'm above it all the time, but not all the time. You know, I'll be still scrolling on the gram like everybody else, trying to figure out what's next, what's new. But as far as dealing with it, especially with the pandemic, I kind of just like transmuted that. I kind of just took that pressure and said, all right, this is gonna be the exact reason why I'm going hard now. You know, the best thing was the kid. The kid came out the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So like, I had to look at the pandemic like, all right, everything not so bad. You know what I mean? That's what started inspiring me to say, all right, I'm back. I'm about to get back into the forefront. You know, everybody, the whole city cheering me on. They be like, yo, what you doing when you doing that? But I don't believe in, like, the time as a linear thing. Like, I just believe in divine time. So I feel like you said, 2 years ago, we wasn't feeling it. Yeah. We feeling it now. And I remember, like, on the last interview I said, and I'm saying it now, and I'll say it again and again, that I'm just now taking this really seriously, you know what I'm saying, where it's way more important than just what I feel like doing today. And with all that energy, that's what's helping me, like, really just, like I said, transmute that pressure and take it and put it into something positive. Because in reality, I could take all this anger and all this anxiety or whatever it is and put it in anything.
Right.
And something will come of it, with anything, good or bad. Something will come of it. So I just looked at it like, it's the time. Time is now. And I've been more inspired to make music. You know what I'm saying? Like, really put it out and want people to hear me. I wasn't really feeling like that, you know, back in them times where I kind of was just feeling like alone. And not alone, but, you know, when you're going through your tribulations, you don't even want to include other people in those things. Like, you know what I mean? So isolated.
Other people to feel it as well. So
that's what I would say, isolated more than I say alone. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't alone. I always had friends and family there that was for me. But isolated is what I felt like. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like that no more. Now I feel way more a part of the collective. I feel way more of a responsibility to, like, speak for people that's not necessarily speaking and things like that. That's the fire under me right now. You know what I mean? So
and you're doing it well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm just happy to be here, like I said.
Likewise. Likewise.
But I didn't get to introduce you fully. So you're a hip hop artist, lyricist,
absolutely,
songwriter,
absolutely,
CEO,
absolutely.
And I know you just do it all. I want to say journalist and just all, because you just talk to the people.
Talk
to the people.
Yeah.
And you're from Queens, South Jamaica Queens.
Right. We call that the district, South Jamaica.
Yes. Okay.
110
So take me back when you were in Queens, like growing up in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
You went to school in, like, different area of Queens and even in the city. From those experiences, what values have you got from that shaped you into the person you are today?
Well, values, I would say, my highest value, my highest priority is helping people. You know what I mean? I kind of been in so many different places, and I realized at a young age that I don't want to say I was more advanced, but I want to say I understood things from perspectives I realized people didn't understand things. Like, I knew I would see things and people wouldn't see exactly how I seen it, and I would see deeper truths, and I used to feel like, all right, for all my friends, everybody around me, I just got to kind of be that guiding light of helping people open their mind up a little bit. I feel like that's the real reason why I do music and why I chose to really go with music, because I felt like my substance of my lyricism was more about helping people open their mind up. So if I just tell people my thoughts and how I look at them, they'll think of it like, damn, I never thought about it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that from a young age, from, like, traveling far back and forth, even from elementary school, from when going to Juilliard, where, like, people from my hood barely ever made it to Manhattan yet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going there every week, and, you know, going to a school that is like, it's like set up like a college, and I'm still in elementary, junior high school. You know what I'm saying? So, like, certain things that I was going through kind of geared me up. So the value of helping people came from seeing so many different people and everything that everybody was going through, and realizing how different I was, but the same I was.
And, how was that experience going to Juilliard? Did your mother tell you to go there? Or
damn, I don't remember. My mother gonna be mad at me because I don't remember if my mother even exactly knew what Juilliard was.
Okay.
I think she did, but maybe she didn't know exactly what it was, but she probably heard of it like everybody else. Me, per se, I'd never heard of it.
That's like a great school. Amazing.
Yeah, I was so young, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had no idea what a Juilliard was. But what ends up happening is I'm playing instruments, and I was really good at instruments. Like, I think some would say, like, how people view me as a rapper, I was kind of like that with my instrument. And so I got recommended from my school, from my public school. I wanted to go because people was getting recommendations, and I seen the older kids, like the 6th graders was getting recommendations. I was a 5th grader, but I knew I was top. Like, I knew I was better than 6th graders, but they wouldn't give us recommendations because we wasn't 6th graders. And then so I got real determined. Mind you, I don't know what Juilliard is. I just know they're getting recommended because people saying they're the best. Yeah. So I wanted to get recommended. So next year I just worked really hard. I'm like, yo, I want a recommendation. I still don't really know what this is. I want a recommendation. They recommended me as soon as the year started. They already knew they was going to recommend me. So what happened was I went, told my mother. So this was all up to, like, it was a mission I was up to. My mother had no clue at the time.
Okay, so what age was this? Were you into music, lyrically, like writing stuff?
Well, at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I used to write raps. I didn't think I was going to be a rapper in 5th grade. You know what I mean? But I was writing raps because I used to see Bow Wow. Bow Wow had all these songs out, and I used to feel like, yo, I could be a young rapper. So I was just starting to write raps. And
I was watching your other interview. Yes, you mentioned Bow Wow. That's so interesting.
Yeah, like, to be honest, like, and people was like Bow Wow, I couldn't see that. But it's not because, like, I didn't get my inspiration of lyricism from him.
Yeah.
It's just that I saw he was doing it. And I'm like, yo, I never even fathomed at this young age I could rap and be out and really be a big rapper. So when I seen him doing it, that's what made me really start trying to make songs. And but yeah, at that time, I was really more instrument than anything. And I wanted to learn how to play the drums real bad, so I started doing the drums. I was doing all wind instruments, flute, clarinet, whatever. Piano I wanted to learn. And so by sixth grade, I get recommended.
Okay.
I actually in it now. So now I'm going to Juilliard while I'm in the 6th grade. So I'm going to elementary school, and I'm also going to Juilliard. And then I transfer into junior high school from 6th grade. I'm still going to Juilliard.
Wow.
So I'm basically out of Juilliard by the time I go to high school.
Now, Stargiela, that's not your real name, but it's almost kind of like it.
Yeah. It's my government by now.
Yeah. So when did you know you were like Stargiela, the artist?
When I was Stargiela, the artist?
Yeah. Take me back to that moment.
Damn, when did I know I was Stargiela, the artist? I think Heaven and Hell. When Heaven and Hell came out, I was for sure Stargiela, the artist, as soon as that happened. Yeah, like, I ain't gonna lie, them years is a blur for me. But definitely 15, like, that was, it wasn't, 15, like, 14 going to 15, yeah, because that was kind of around the time where I really declared that as my act name at the time, and blogs was picking it up. So, but Heaven and Hell came, I always tell people, when Heaven and Hell got lit, I ain't even know what was going on. Like, Cello just came home, and you know, at that time, Cello, it's still like that with Cello, but at that time, he had the hot hand because he just came home. Everybody's waiting for him. So it was just like whatever he was about to touch was going to be golden. And when he did that Heaven and Hell, he wanted to do the Heaven and Hell beat, and I got the opportunity to jump right on at perfect time. And from there, everything started going crazy, but not really. Like, everything was still regular. I was still.
You were in a group?
Yeah, we was already in the group. And it took some time to adjust because
Universe, guys.
Soul Group Universe. We was already doing that, but it took time to adjust because, like I said, Cello was in jail. He just came home. We was already doing the group, so Cello had to come and insert. So that took some time to get that figured out. And so, but as soon as he came home, we doing music. So that shit got lit, and like I said, it was regular. It was like. It was lit in the street. Like, I didn't know how popular it was. Put it like that. I still was living my regular life. I'm probably doing whatever I was doing every day.
And people were already calling you Star.
Yeah, I'm already Star. I'm Star. I'm Star anyway. That's my name anyway in the street way before this. So Stargiela just was a good idea for an act name. But when Heaven and Hell comes out and then all these other things start getting attention, the internet starts picking me up as Stargiela.
Got it.
And I never even argued with nobody. I just was like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping.
So when you look back to like Heaven and Hell, that time and how you were as a person, do you see like the growth as in like artist until now? Absolutely.
Like, I was way, 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 way like in my own world at that time. Like, I'm way more tapped in now to like at least what's going on around me and just in higher perspectives of things. Like, back then I was way, way, way just in the street. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just in the street. I was not going to say foolish, but I was young, put it like that. I definitely see the growth as far as maturity and just overall outlook on life, way different. I was way, I don't look at it like it was bad back then, but just way different. I'm nothing
so
like.
So before music was just like, okay, like you like doing it, but now it's more more than music.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to read this line. I'm just trying to kill the nigga in me. I never knew how big I was, but I knew this shit was bigger than me. From Welcome Home.
Right.
So when did you know that this was like bigger than you? That it was more than music and then more than just you?
When did I really, really know?
What you mean by killing the nigga in you?
What I mean by that is just literally, I think, like what you asked me about the time difference from then to now, like then, whatever that, the nigga in me from then, like all that I was doing, what I was used to, my lifestyle, my habits, my ideals, all that shit, I had time to sit down and really figure out, like, all right, you wasn't really thinking most of that through. You was just kind of living. And that was what I was acknowledging as the nigga in me, just like the ignorance and the arrogance and the motherfucking, like, just the sleep. Like, I felt like I was asleep for a while. You know what I'm saying? And I needed to wake that shit up. And it's funny because when you quote Welcome Home, yeah, I was thinking about that while I was in jail. You know what I'm saying? And I went there shortly after when I saw you with the Nipsey Hussle passed away. And so all of those things transpiring was making me think like that, like, damn, I never really knew how big I was. I didn't know what was really going on because I truly didn't care about that aspect of things. But I always knew I was doing it for a purpose. Whether I understood the purpose for real, I knew that I was being led to do this because of something that I don't even really have understood yet. And so that was just me putting that in perspective, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and the people around you was like already hyping you up and knew that you were like something, but if you don't see it in yourself,
yeah, absolutely, it don't even matter. It wouldn't even matter.
Like for you, I feel like you always had that confidence. When I met you, I'm like, I already know like stars going to pass music and it's gonna be bigger than music. Right. But
absolutely,
you just tapped into that like right now.
You know why? Because I realized how detrimental it is to. Not to sound shallow, but basically like to my bank account. You get it? It's like if I don't take my craft and creativity seriously and structure it to a level where I'm really monetizing, then it's just a hobby. And I can't afford for it to be a hobby when I actually have a family to feed. You understand what I'm saying? I can't afford that because I don't want to look at my family and say like, all right, I got to go do this and that to get money. And that's just shameful to me. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather it be my man A, literally on Instagram, right before I saw you, before we walked in here, my man just put on a gram. He said, if you paid your bill off your creativity, then you winning. You won. And that's my producer. He younger than me. He years younger than me. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And I felt that. I was like, yeah, if you're doing that, that's winning. Not, I had to do this, and I ran off on a plug, and da-da-da. All that shit is corny because it's a rat race, and it's a hamster wheel. So it's like, once I realized like I could do that for me, like I could do that all day if it's just about me. Right. But now that it's not just about me, it's like, all right, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna take this seriously, or is it just a hobby? Because it's been a hobby this whole time. Like I only do the shit because, like you said, I got the confidence. It's because I'm confident in like literally me. So it's just like the same way I was playing instruments, the same way at once upon a time I was playing basketball, the same way I was doing all this shit. I was always good because I was confident in me. So music, I look at it the same way. But now it's like, all right, it's deeper than confident in me now. Now it's like, it doesn't even matter if you're confident in you, bro. You got to kind of like work like this shit is a fucking 9 to 5, but 24/7. So that's just where it's at now. You know what I'm saying? It's just really bigger than me, honestly. Yeah. Like, it's out of my hands.
I think you already touched on this, but what is important to you right now? Most important.
What's extremely important to me besides the obvious, like what I'm saying, just taking care of my family and making sure that I make something of myself. It's truly to create a wave of sound out of Queens, New York. And it's not just Queens, New York. It's really New York and the East Coast. But I know it starts with Queens. You know what I'm saying? If I don't start it there, then the wave I'm talking about is not going to, like, manifest into what I'm trying to get it to do. It starts at home. So that's my biggest thing. Like, I want to make sure that I don't got to be the reason, but I'm going to be a driving force that leads Queens to a wave of music, like to the point where like you hear it and know that's Queens and know that's New York, not necessarily some other shit. You know what I mean?
I feel the wave is here. I mean, Denzel could speak on this too. We interviewed people that like mentioned your name and like Queens already. We're not going into that, but interviews from way back. Yeah. So I feel like that wave is there, but Queens always had like, I don't know. You can speak on it because you're a Queens artist.
We have our differences. We have our ways. You know what I mean? I just think, to be honest, that's anywhere, though. You're going to get that anyway. I just feel like if you truly love it and your intentions is pure, you're going to get from A to B to Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't worried about, what. I was just ranting on Instagram yesterday about people putting like my name on lists and not putting my name on lists and people tagging me. And I just say, I said, please don't tag me under none of these things. If it's not there, it's okay because I'm not trying to fit in. I'm trying to stand out. So it's like if I'm not amongst the whole list of other niggas that's not necessarily even doing what I'm doing, then what do I care? It's not about I'm better than anybody. It's just about like what's my real aim here. My aim is not necessarily to sit at the cool table. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not my aim. And so, you know, I think we've been strung on that for a while. And I've even fell into it. You know, naturally, like, when you're playing any game, you'll start, you know, paying attention to who's who and figuring out where you fit and all that. And you might get caught up and strung out on that. I've been a victim of paying attention to that type of stuff before and letting that get to me at times, especially with social media and stuff. But that's not really life. You know, that's like I put on Gram yesterday, too. I say, yo, blue check on the Gram is cool, but try being verified in real life. It's really beautiful. And people think I'm just talking fly, but it's like, nah, like somebody had to really put me in perspective. Like, yo, Star, way before there was Instagram, you was a blue check nigga in real life. Like, niggas know you in real life and regard you as such, whether you got that type of shit going on social media or not. And I never thought about it before you said that. And I was like, that's true, though. Like, and fuck me, but niggas I know, people around me, people I got respect for, whether they got the blue check or not, they really like that in the street. People regard them like that in the street. And that's really beautiful. And that's my focus because that's where the culture come from. It don't come from social media. It don't come from movies and none of that shit. It comes from here first, and then that's where it ends up. So it's like I'm focused on like where it starts at, where it comes from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I feel like you're doing a great job at it right
Thank
now.
you.
But how you feel like Queens is moving overall? Like what are we missing? Or what are we not even doing wrong? Like why you feel like Queens is probably not there yet, and you have to reconstruct Queens? I
think that standards, like morals, values, principles, like representation and influence, like whoever's the head of the snake. I don't even know if we really have a head of the snake. Like we do, but I don't know if they, you know, who's regarding who as the head of the snake. But it's gonna take like some real representation, some real leadership. And it's going to take, it's kind of like whenever the country was making the Constitution or something. To come up with that, you had to have certain standards and morals and all that to even come up with those type of principles. It's like, without it, you can't come up with it, and then nobody can follow it. So I feel like our job, when I say our job is, I mean me and whoever feels like this is important to them, is to just be a leading example of like what's right, what's really right versus what's wrong, what's going to have longevity, what's going to stand. There's a clout chase going on, and I feel like honestly, rightfully so. Like there's so many people that people watch gain the things that they want off of having a lot of clout that you can't knock people for trying to follow the same footsteps, but it's just people taking shortcuts to the clout.
It's because people don't know their purpose. That's why they chasing clout and stuff.
Because your purpose gonna bring you clout. Like if you living in your purpose and you doing it right, the real clout, the clout that you probably really want, it'll come to you naturally. It's not gonna be something you gotta like put on a show for and dance around for. You'll be they're gonna respect you. And I feel like you said about me, about people bringing up my name and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going out of my way to get people to think about me when they on interviews. Like, that's not what I'm doing. But it's happening like that because they seeing something that I'm doing and they finding something genuine in that and it's striking them. And that's the point. You know what I'm saying? To basically influence people to do the right thing. Musically, when it come down to the street, like at the end of the day, I done rapped about guns, I done sold drugs, I done did everything that people say you shouldn't do. I done did all that shit. And I talk about it in my music too, but I make sure I don't speak about it or convey it in a way where it sounds like I'm trying to get you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to like sway you into doing it. Like, I hear some artists and I be liking them too. I listen to the music all the time, but it sounds like they literally telling you to go out and kill somebody, or literally telling you go out and run off on the plugs, steal this from that person, do this, fuck this bitch, that. It sounds like they're trying to get you to do it. I ain't making that type of music. So it's like little shit like that where I feel like it's going to take, we got kids, our nephews, you know what I'm saying? I think about like when they repeating my shit, what are they actually saying? You know what I mean? Or what do they hear themselves saying out their mouth? we just gotta like be conscious of that. Still have fun, still make free flowing music, but be conscious of that so that we could change the trajectory of how this shit is going, the dynamic of how this shit is going.
And working together too.
Yeah, camaraderie. We missing a lot of that now. That's some shit that I'ma say.
Queens is just such a big borough too. Like, it's the biggest borough in New York
Nah,
City.
I was just saying,
From,
like, this is not easy.
Queensbridge to, like, all the way to Far Rockaway. That's, like, an hour away.
Yo, it's not easy. I think about this shit all the time. I be obsessed over this shit because...
In different parts of Queens, too.
Yeah.
So is Big Queens considered just for South Side Queens?
Nah, hell no. Big Queens, like I said, big
I see it everywhere on social media now, too.
Big Queens was just a way to, like... It was like if a person's hyping themselves up. You know what I mean? It's just like, I wanted people to find, well, when I say Big Queens particularly, I want people to feel that patriotic feeling that, like, fuck niggas talking about, because they always put us last. They always count us out, even though we really where it's at. Like, Queens really get the money.
The whole Queens, too.
Queens really get the money. You know what I'm saying? Queens really, like, trendsetted, mad things, culture. What would the culture be without us?
I know.
And I feel like it's still manifesting till this day through people like me and people that I know and people that I don't even know, but I just see doing their thing. And so it's never going to stop. But they try to count us out because, like, the first will be last, the last is going to be first. So they try to count us out. In reality, I just be on some, like, Big Queens, Big Queens, Big Queens, because it's like, if y'all not going to hype us up, then I'll do it. We'll do it. And we gonna make it known. Now you hear Nas saying Big Queens on his album. I'll represent what I feel like this shit always been. I ain't trying to sit at the cool table with y'all niggas, bro. Like, I got respect for everybody who might be lit and got it, but if Queens is only gonna be Queens to me if we carving out our own lane. If we're not carving out our own lane, then we might as well be called something else. You know what I'm saying? Because they counted us out. That mean that we ain't really what they are, so why are we not carving our own lane out? Yeah. That's how I feel about everything about Queens. Everything.
And you're always representing that in your music. And
absolutely.
People could relate to it far away from different states, from different countries. Absolutely. And I feel like Starlight, we knew each other 5 years.
Right.
Musically always. So, like, I really listen to your lyrics. And I don't know if this is, like, too much to ask, but
nah, not too much to ask.
Nah, I feel like I kind of, like, know these people because I have people that passed away in my life too. So I know you mentioned a boy named Ty a lot. Are you talking about Freaky Ty? Because it says the day Ty died, they got the best of me.
Oh nah.
Rap for the 10 block till we meet again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always. I hope the Lord know he got me when he got Ty.
Right. Rest in peace, Freaky Ty, though. I can't even begin to explain how important that man is to the whole everything, you know what I'm saying? LB fam, everything. But nah, I'm talking about my boy Ty I grew up with. He from 110. His name's Tasheen. He passed away due to gun violence right on 110 Avenue.
What do you think he would be saying to you right now if he was here? Or what advice?
I don't know. Yo, he passed away a while ago and we were still young, and I just feel like at the time that he passed away, it was a time where, like, I was kind of acting like I really wanted to rap, and he was just in the street, and he would always be on some, like, yo, make sure you call me for the video, or, like, yo, make sure you call me so that, because he know, like, if I hang out with him that day, his day going to be completely different versus the shit he go do on his own. And I just feel like I always think about that, like, now, like, damn, what I had really gotten him out of that shit that he was into every day, because not for nothing, I was in it every day too. I used to be with my son Ty, my son Snoop Crip, Ty Blood. These are my niggas every day. I used to have these niggas used to not even talk. They became best friends off of me, and we used to just run around up 110 Avenue on a regular basis. And I was really I was always outside first. I'm the one that had to move out of off my block first. I'm the one who seen a whole bunch of things first, so I always was a busybody. I always was trying to go do things. Yo, let's go do this. Yo, let's go do that. They was always the niggas I could catch when I get to the hood. They gonna be here looking for me. You know what I mean?
So he didn't get to really see you as, like, the music.
He knew I was nice, and the hood knew me, but he ain't understand. He ain't know that. He ain't know what this shit was about to be. Not yet. Yeah. Not yet.
You gotta continue to make him smile.
Nah, that's a fact. Like that. My boy definitely be proud of me. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
And I feel like since you know your purpose now, do you ever feel like the weight of it because people are just
Yeah.
how can I say, people are depending on you as much. Like, how do you handle that weight, knowing that now that you got a family, now that you know it's more than music and you helping people?
I handle it with grace now. See, what happened was I always had that weight back then, in these times that we talking about, you know, the 2015s when I'm not knowing what's going on. But I didn't understand that because I didn't understand my purpose. But I was still feeling the dependency and the codependency, and I was just feeling the pressure of, like, how people was looking to me. But I didn't understand it, so it was more frustrating than it was feeling like a blessing for me. It wasn't really feeling like a blessing. You know what I mean? It was feeling like a burden. And I think now I just deal with it by knowing, like, all right, now that I know my purpose, it makes it more, it's a patience that come with it now. It's kind of like dealing with a baby. It's kind of like you're not going to wild a baby out for doing a million things that a baby's going to do because you understand what your purpose is here for this baby. Versus if a grown man was doing that stuff, your patience would be like this, like, bro, I'm not playing with you. Like, why you acting like a kid? It's like the patience I got for my purpose, I treat it like a kid now. So, like, I started realizing why I had all that dependency on me and all that heavy world on my shoulders feeling. And when you don't know why that is, but you just know that it's there, it's very, very frustrating.
You mentioned your direct to consumer method, and you did that with Not to Be Sold.
Yeah. During the pandemic, I did, like, I don't even remember, 3-4 projects in a month straight, and I was doing it for that.
Is it because, like, you were signed to a label and you decided, like, you wanted to try something different and you
experimented? Nah, what happened? I always wanted to do it. I think me signing to the label and going through everything I went through with signing to the label as far as experience, as far as learning how things worked and everything.
Give people a little bit of background. When were you signed?
We were signed a commission, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I'm going to be honest, I'm horrible with years, like memories and years. I'll almost never have the accurate year. But let's just say 2 years ago, we were signed a commission.
He's talking about Soul Group.
Soul Group Universe.
Four.
Me, Sag, 8, cello. And there's other people that's involved, but the main rappers is those names. And when I start saying names, I be thinking I gotta say everybody's name. But
you gonna be like looking at this interview, what?
Yeah, but you know, it was us, and we were signed to commission for a while. Quick deal, we just was trying it out. They was trying it out. Like, we both came to the table trying it out, and I gained so much insight off of just the music industry and how I want to do things and what I like and don't like and just everything, positive and negative. Like, I gained so much from that's what kind of got me to say, I'm doing this direct-to-consumer shit because I've been thinking about it, and I ain't playing with y'all niggas. Like, not y'all as dumb, but I'm saying, like, the world. I'm not playing with y'all. Like, I'm about to do it how I know in my heart to do it. And so when I did it, it was kind of just like a fluke because I was planning on doing it, but I was fucked up. I just came home from jail. I was on some shit like, yo, if I'm soon to spend my last money, I need to do something that's going to just get me back. Like, but damn, if I can't make money off my music, what can I do? That's how I looked at it. Like, so I was like, yo, you know what? I'm going to just put it up. If they want to buy it, then let them buy it. And I remember that night, I was on my block. I was on 110. I was with Ant, my son Ant Live. Ant mixed it, if certain niggas know him as that. Who else? My cousin John. We was all together, and I was like, yo, I'm putting it up. And by that night, I had, like, definitely more than $1,000.
Wow.
By that night, you know what I'm saying? Definitely more than $1,000 off of $20 sales. Even when, and that's another thing for anybody who out there be on some speculative shit when it come down to just doing what you know to do. Yo, people was telling me, how you gonna sell your album for $20 online? You need to put it on streaming. Yo, bro, people buying that shit from me. And so it's like, just don't listen to people, because I probably took an extra couple weeks just listening to people, not pulling the trigger. You know what I mean? Like, don't listen to people, bro. Do what the fuck you want to do, my nigga. For real. Just do what you want to do, bro. Don't listen to nobody.
Would you ever sign again? Well, let's talk about Third World Records.
Right. Would I sign again? Yeah, in a fashion that's just favorable. I need control. You know what I mean? I don't want to feel like nobody can tell. I don't want people to feel like nobody can tell me nothing, because that's definitely not true. I listen to probably everybody a little too much. But I'm not trading my control for money. So if I could find a situation where, because how I'm going to make this sound I'm talking about in Queens and how I'm going to help create this wave, if I'm being controlled with how I'm putting shit out and do that, and or even just a timeline. Like sometimes I believe in divine timing. I believe in listening to what inside is telling me, and that always worked for me, even with music. Now third, it's
a record label.
Yeah, it's a label, but it just started out as a creative. It started out as a creative collective. Like I wanted, cause I songwrite. I really just wanted to make hits. I wanted to write hits for others. So me, my man Bo, my man Bo, he from Houston, and he don't do music, but he do everything surrounding the music, and he kind of was just pushing me to network with certain people, and it was opening my mind to just like, yo, we need to start doing writing camps, and we need to start doing, I need to start making beats now. We need to start doing that. And so the third was the idea that was supposed to be Soul Group after I focused up. Because I thought Soul Group was going to be a label. Soul Group Universe was definitely not necessarily supposed to be just like a rap group, like Dipset or something. It was supposed to be like Wu-Tang.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? We're like, because I looked at all of us and I knew even if we did mad music, it was just no way we're just going to stay a 4-man group 24/7. I just know us. I know.
And y'all did records by yourself.
Yeah, we already
was projects by yourself.
Exactly.
Cello, 8, you.
Exactly. That's why this shit was supposed to be like a Wu-Tang. That's why like Universe was there. What's that word? Deliberately. I deliberately put the word universe in this to acknowledge that it's way larger than just whatever faces you're seeing right here. So when I realized kind of like the streets took us for what they wanted to take us for, and we kind of just fell into that, and just it worked for us. Like it was working for us. I'm like, okay, cool. I started thinking about Third World, and all right, let me kind of get that aspect that I was trying to touch with the like structure of.
So who's in Third World? Is it Soul Group Universe in Third World, or?
They screen third because at the end of the day, nothing that we're doing is like feel separate. Nothing we're doing feels separate. But as far as who Third World is, it's literally a partnership between me and my man Rob from the Crate. I've been blacking. That like me and him, we partnered on, and we're gonna come together and create this wave of sound. So the point is to create this funnel. Like I look at Third World like the funnel. Like everything that come through it, when it does come through, is gonna be those leading examples of like what's gonna take this sound for the city and for the East Coast. We're basically grooming that, and it's starting with me. I'm grooming myself.
A few questions ago, you said that sometimes like you listen to too many people. How can I say this? Like, when do you know, like, not to listen to people and listen to yourself? Because I was watching your other interview, and you said that, like, sometimes your fans want you in a box where you do the certain type of sound, but you know you can do more. Like, with your new track that's out. Right now, we're going to get into that. Like, when do you know not to listen to people? And just go with your like creative process. Because you said you can do way much more.
Yeah, I do a lot. I do a lot of different songs. A lot of different sound. I listen to everything, bro. I don't discriminate when it comes to sound. Like I'm willing to listen to anything, and if I like it, I'll listen again. How do I know? I know from experience of figuring out myself and other people. Like once I started paying attention to what makes people click and what's triggering the people by learning that about myself and then seeing how other people do it, that's when I started like maneuvering around it. So for example, if I send a song to my man who I know likes this, and this, and then I send it to him and I know I'm sending him some shit that he don't listen to, and he go, I don't know, bro.
Oh, good. I'm happy you don't have yes men around you all the time.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. Counsel is important, and to any artist listening, if I'm anybody you think you should take advice from, listen to me when I say your counsel is very important, and it's going to take a while for you to get the right people around you who are your counsel that you're going to trust, and it's going to take some trial and error too. But yeah, I sent it to my man. He go, I don't know, bro. It's like, oh yes, I wanted you to say that because I wanted to make something that was completely out of your comfort zone. Once I started getting deliberate in that is when it started making sense. But just like when you give a fuck about what people think to the level where it'll control your actions, you're already doing something wrong. It don't matter if the song's good or not. If it doesn't matter if the song's good or not. If you like it, and if somebody else hears it and says something to make you feel like, nah, then you already lost. Even if the song's bad, actually, you still lost, because at the end of the day, music is like, it's like a fingerprint. It's supposed to be some shit that only come out of you and only come for you, and it's going to be somebody that like it. So it's like, if you got people stopping what you doing based upon their opinion, you already fucked up. And I've done that before. I've literally slowed myself down. Like I said, with Not to Be So, like, it was 2-3 weeks I sat there in like a paralyzed state of trying to figure it out. Like, am I bugging? Am I jumping off a cliff right now? Especially with everything that's going on right now with me. Am I bugging? No, I wasn't bugging. That was the best thing I could do, because now I got young kids coming up to me like, yo, bro, all I know is Apple Music in them, and I never thought that my music could be anything other than on that. And you telling me that you sold this shit for $20 and made all this money? Like, I got kids coming up to me saying that. So it's like, fuck what other people talking about, bro. I don't care if, yo, bro, I might not like a song, and I tell myself, like, Star, you bugging. Double back a week later and listen to this shit again. Because, like, fuck what niggas think. People wake up feeling different every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like.
So your writing process, like, how is it for you? Because I like asking lyricists this. Do you have to be in a certain mood or?
Nah.
No?
I just write my mood. And I really don't even really write. I'm not writing so much anymore because it feels more enjoyable not to. But as far as my mood, I just match my mood. So, like, if we in the studio right now and you play some beats, I'm going to find the beat that matches my mood right now. So I'm not really searching for no moods when I'm writing.
Is it different when you're songwriting for other people?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like an out-of-body experience, because, like, I might write some shit that I think a Rihanna should sing, or like a Summer Walker. So then I'll do something like jump into the bag of, I'll probably think of like what my girl or girl from the past would say to me, type of thing she would say to me in the middle of the night, and then tap into that. You know what I mean? Something like that for songwriting, or sound like this kid just came to me to do a drill record for him or whatever. And that's probably one of the hardest drill records that ever came out of the city, and it ain't even out yet.
Wow.
And because I could tap into that. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. So then people start feeling like I don't do nothing else, which is not even the case. I just don't be always putting out my music. Like, the percentage of music I put out versus I make is like crazy. I'm talking about.
You're putting it out because the fans want it. But how about you just put it out?
I don't even think I don't put it out even because the fans want it. I think, like, what happens is I always hold out until I feel like I'm holding out too long, and then I dish out, which is not necessarily good. But if I'm just being honest with what I think was doing, I'd probably just never drop, and then get to a point of, like, the tipping point where it's like, nah, they want it, and they're harassing me, and I'm wild, I'm too quiet now. Or like one of these other artists do something to get some fire under my ass, and I'll just be like, you know what? Yeah. Let me just drop this. And it might get big because people are just waiting so long.
Do you have a favorite project that's out, or is not even out because you only released 20% of your music?
A favorite project?
To date.
Wow. That's a good question. I don't ever think anybody ever asked me that. I don't know, because the way my mind is set up, I don't really listen to nothing old. I try to keep my mind in the now all the time. So, like, my favorite shit right now is what's about to come out that y'all ain't hear yet. Mm-hmm. But if I have to like logically say what's probably the wildest one, I'm gonna say Not to Be So, because of the way it was put together. It was my most enjoyable put together of a project.
And you would consider that, like, what, your first project?
I would consider it
solo, or
I would consider it the first project I took it, like, I've done on a professional level. Like, I've taken appropriate steps to do a project from top to bottom, whole project. Like, production was from scratch, mix, master, writing, trial and error. It was really quick, but that was the one that I really did wholeheartedly. Other ones was like free flowing shit that I just snapped together. You know what I'm saying? Everything else I probably ever did, part itself, was probably free flowing, snap together shit. Yeah. That was the only one that I really like. I'm talking about down to the cover art, like a real cover, That was the only one I ever did like that.
Now it's summer. It's about to be summer. Let's talk about Party Ain't a Party.
Party and Party.
That's different. I'm happy that like you made that. It sounds good.
But
like,
what's crazy? So thank you. What's crazy is I don't.
You don't like it? You don't.
No. I fuck with it, but that's a part of like the music that I make all the time that just don't come out. I do that type of shit all the time. Like I definitely.
You give it to other people or.
I think sometimes like I be trying to. I think. So like Party and Party is not my beat. So I definitely don't jump to do other people's beats because I can't really put it out. You know what I mean? And really do nothing with it. Make music. I mean, not music money or anything like that, but it gets shit hype. You know, it's for the culture. It's a giveaway. So.
Just like the lemon pepper freestyle too.
Yeah, man. People begged me to do that.
Yeah. Wow.
I didn't want to do that. People begged me to do that. I'm talking about I was literally.
Why you didn't want to do it?
I was begged and pressured to do that shit. Because I don't want to do other people's beats. Like, I feel like I value my bars so crazy that I just want them to be on original sounds all the time. You know what I mean? As far as Party Ain't a Party, I was in Atlanta. We did the Big Queens Takeover or whatever. I was just in a club, and they played Queen Pen record. Yeah. And it just came on, and it struck me that it came on. You know, Atlanta clubs are a bit different. They'll play that shit out here too, but it's a bit different. And it just struck me that it came on. And it came on. I didn't even want to be in the club at that time. I was like really on some dead energy shit. I heard it, and I was like, yo, niggas saying Big Queens but don't know what it mean. I literally just said that out of nowhere. And as soon as I said niggas saying Big Queens but they don't know what it mean, I just stopped rapping. I was like, I'm going to do this beat one day. And weeks later, we in the studio, and I kind of was I was in like a 10-hour session, and I did the 10 hours. And I was like, yo, I just feel like it's something I could be doing in this last little 30, 40 minutes. And niggas was like, just sitting there, looking at me. And it just struck me like, I was like, yo, pull up Party Ain't a Party beat. Let me see what I could do here. And I just started snapping. I didn't even write that shit. I just started snapping in like 30 minutes. And
so that was like a freestyle?
No, it was absolutely a freestyle. I did not write that at all. It was absolutely a freestyle. That was too easy. Because like, if you hear what I'm saying, it's not nothing I got to really construct in my mind. Everything I was saying was real live shit that I just say out my mouth. Like, talking about my niggas. I'm just talking about everything that's literally me and that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't really.
And sometimes, one of your favorites, I know, Cameron. Sometimes you need that. I was looking at his interview, and then they asked
the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah, that's two of my favorites, Nas and Cameron. And right. Cameron, Noriega asked him, who's your favorite, Jay-Z or Nas? And he was sliding with Nas, but he said Jay-Z because... He had to say, oh. Yes, only because sometimes you need to dumb it down.
For sure.
And like how you said with that freestyle, it was kind of like off the top.
Right.
It was...
Right.
Would you consider it dumbed down?
Yeah. What I call dumbed down is how I look at dumbed down is keeping shit short. I be having complex ideas, and I know how to articulate those ideas in a short manner. And I feel like that's what Party and Party was easily. Like, Southside nigga, but I love my North bitches. She be watching how I play shit like Sports Center. It's like, I could give you a whole thesis on what I'm talking about and how I feel about that, but it's like, to make it concise is all people need, and to give them something they can move to is all people need. And I feel like my biggest challenge, I like challenging myself. My biggest challenge now is to keep shit short. You know what I mean? That's what I'm challenging myself to now.
Keep it short, Star, but I liked it. It. But I do like your other stuff better.
No, I'm never going to stop.
Yeah. Don't stop doing that.
The reason why I got to challenge myself is because that other stuff is too easy. Like, the shit that's not short.
Like, let's say if that shit is like, right now, your best, it reached higher than Believe It's Jumping. Right. Say if it reached that. Right. And people behind you saying like, yo, keep on going with that shit. Keep on going. Yeah. But like, are you gonna keep on going with that?
Let me tell you what my exact goal is musically right now. My exact goal is to be somebody that makes music to a level where no matter anytime you hear them, it may sound like something completely different from the last thing you heard, but equally accepted. The reason why I say that is because I don't like how people try to keep people in their box, right? I spoke on that. I don't like that. I feel like I'm an advocate for, because I songwrite for other people, it's like that's going to be easy for me. I'm an advocate for making new things and challenging yourself to do new things. It needs to be artists that people accept where he might make a song like this today and a song like this tomorrow, and that's okay. You get what I'm trying to say? It don't matter how he did it. It don't matter the genre, nothing. It's okay to do that without people trying to tell him he can't do that, because you don't have to listen to it. There's plenty of people that like one song from me, and they only like one song from me. Not that they don't like nothing else from me, but they only listen to the one song from me. And that's how they know me, and that's what they hold on to.
So I already see big visions for you, like past music, but where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I definitely see my feet all the way planted in the music industry. My passion, like I said, of course, my highest priority is just helping people. I want people to, my biggest satisfaction in doing music is like having people around me, and then their artistry is like developing, and I'm helping them develop that. So like, I feel that that's what third is gonna be for me, as far as whether it be we're signing artists, or if it be we're the guys you call for your album, or whatever, or we just doing hit records and Rihanna singing, whatever it is. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to be looking in 5 years, where I'm going to feel like, because it's 100-year plan with me, with music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like my daughter's going to feel like, oh, nah, I knew what my dad was doing. I got to keep doing this. Whether it's rapping or whatever it is, however she fits into it. I wanted her to feel like that about what I'm starting right now. In the middle of right now. So at 5 years from now, it'll just be me. I'm pretty sure I like have some plaques. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure the accolades will be there, and I'm just fed off of helping people develop their sound. That's all I really want to do. That's even with Soul Group. Like, these niggas is great, but they wasn't rapping as long as I was at the time. So it was easy for me to come and be like, all right, listen, you gotta look at it like this. So did that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then their growth was helping me grow. Because let me tell you something, I get lit. It's lit for my niggas. It's lit for Cello. It's lit for A. It's lit for Sag. Automatically, if I get lit, and I'm pretty sure they feel the same about me. So in my mind, it's like, you can't really, you know what they say, like, you can't pour out the cup if your shit not full.
But what's getting lit to you?
Lit is literally doing what you want to do when you feel like doing it, being financially stable off of it, without second guessing.
Where you feel like you're at right now? Are you
I don't know. The reason why, how you said, like, I'm an established artist, but, I still feel like I'm coming up and I'm coming out. It's because, like, my energy's always going to be renewal. My energy's always going to be fresh and new. I'm always going to walk around like I'm brand new. I've been doing that. I'm always going to do that.
I have...
I'm telling you, when you talk to me, you know me. So I'm going to talk to you differently. Okay. But if we somewhere else and you see how you go like, oh, yeah, they don't know this. Soul Group. Yeah, oh, they don't know this. It's because my mind don't process all the old shit like that. I'm only literally thinking about how this next song I got that I gotta let you hear when this is finished. Yeah. It's gonna shake everything. The next that. That's all. My mind is always like that. So right now I'm definitely not content.
I feel like you are content right now because you know who you are. I'm not saying content meaning like you don't want more, but content where it's just like
comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable.
Definitely comfortable.
But
for sure.
I know what you mean. Lit meaning like financially stable. But I also feel like once you put your focus on being like your success on money only, then you always gonna want that. But
absolutely.
If you put it into like different stuff like helping people.
That's what I'm saying. When I'm lit,
do you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Okay. Doing God's work.
There's no way I could be doing this without God. I can't even make a song without God. So at the end of the day, that's lit. When I could put my hand on an artist and change their life because I put my hand on them. So like, we watch Kanye West tweet a nigga name and it's up. You know what I mean? We watch any one of these artists, the guys, whoever we call the guys, just stand next to them in a picture, play their song somewhere, and it's up. The day I can move like that for another artist is the day I know I'm lit.
So I gotta ask you, who's your top 5? You gotta wrap up though, but I need to know who's your top 5
of all time.
Yeah, of all time.
My top 5 of all time is I can't do order.
Okay, no order.
All right, so automatically it's Kim, Stack Bundles, Max B, Hove. Damn, son. I'm going to just say that there's no way. I'm going to just disclaim that I don't truly have a top 5, so I'm just giving you 5.
Oh, okay.
I can't pick top 5, like, because I got niggas like X in there, and I got niggas like Nas obviously, and I got niggas like Godson album got me through some shit, bro. You feel me? So to not say Nas is crazy, I have to say Nas, and that's a 5 right there. But I'm more or less like favorite or who I think is just better than everybody, because those are two different things to me. But for sure, my favorites of all time is Stat, Kim, and Max B. Like, those are the niggas who make up my DNA. You understand what I'm saying? Like, literally, like, those are the guys. And everybody else might just be, and Hov too, obviously, but for Hov for different reasons. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I dissect music differently for different people.
I have a top 5 too, but I'm not going to say.
Nah, tell me. Tell me at least 3.
I'm a journalist.
Oh, yeah. You can't do that.
Yeah,
I'm wild.
People know around me who I like when I post on social media. You know, it's Nas and Cameron.
I know the rappers.
Like, Nas and Cameron is up there.
If Cam ever see this, I just want you to know, Cam, Purple Haze album, bro, was literally.
Talk to that one.
Purple Haze album, bro. I don't think anybody could do anything better than Purple Haze album. I'm just being honest. Like, Purple Haze and Godson and Black Album. Those 3 albums.
Damn, you don't like Come Home With Me?
Oh, no. Come Home With Me. No. Let me tell you something. Come Home With Me bring a different type of person out of me.
Okay.
But Purple Haze, because you got to understand, I'm in the 7th grade, 8th grade when Purple Haze came out. It's just different. Purple Haze jumped me off the porch. Come Home With Me, I was too young to understand it fully. The way I was understanding Purple Haze when it came out. Like, when Purple Haze came out, I was tapped in, like, literally. Like, I was making friends. One of my greatest friends that we don't even talk no more, but I still consider him one of my greatest friends, my son P. We became friends off of Purple Haze album.
I'm mad that this conversation has to end, but this is not the last.
I loved it.
Guys, this is his first interview on Stay on TV, but I definitely interviewed him
my last. Yeah.
So rude.
Right.
And it's not your last. It's not your last. I'm happy that we had this because it felt like a conversation.
Absolutely. Like, I'm only here for that.
Yeah.
I'm only here for that.
Yeah. And my last and final question. Okay. You said you do believe in God. What sign did he give you to keep on going, God, with this?
The sign that God gave me to keep on going, I'm going to be honest. I went through some shit. On Welcome Home, when I said I went to AZ and I turned myself in, it was a weird thing, but I got transported from Arizona to Atlanta, like on a jail transport. Anybody that know that shit ain't no joke, from Arizona to Atlanta. And I can't really get into it, and I know it'll take some time, but just know that on that trip, I seen shit that I've never seen before. I'm talking about spiritually and in front of my face. And it was like said to me, like things were said to me. And by the time I made it from Arizona, I knew that what I went through was on purpose. Like, I knew that trip from Arizona to Atlanta was divine. It was deliberate. It was hell. It was torture. But it was everything I needed. By the time I came out on the other end, I'm talking about I couldn't speak to my family for weeks. By the time I came on the other end of that, I felt equipped. I felt comfortable knowing who I was and why I was here more than ever before, or for certain things that were said to me. And from then, that's why Welcome Home sounded like that when I came home. You know, it was that energy transfer right into that. Wow. I want my music to help people do. People think they're not going through shit, or that they're the only people thinking about certain things. That's why when I write, I be saying my thoughts, because I want people to understand, like, I'm thinking this shit too, or I'm going through the same shit you going through, but here's how I looked at it.
Yeah, you're helping them, but who's helping you?
Just everywhere I draw inspiration. I draw inspiration from. I feel like I really, really, really draw inspiration from God. You know what I'm saying? From the grace of God, like, I've just divinely set out to understand and see things a way that maybe a lot of people don't get to see them, and that's why it's really like. It's sinful to not do this shit. Like, I have to do it because it's like, I watch other people do music and I know they're grasping not information too, but inspiration from everything they're looking at and everything they watching other people do. And me, on the other hand, I'm not necessarily doing that. I'm grasping this shit from like I say, it's some shit. I can't jack this as me. It's not just me doing this. So it's like, it would be a sin to not do what I'm supposed to do musically when I know there's a message going through me deliberately. Sometimes it's not even me trying to give it out. It's just there.
So, again, I wish you nothing but the best.
You too, likewise.
Congratulations again on all your success, your family. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right, so we're tuning out, guys. I'm Ashley Tiffaney, and this is...
All leather Stargiela, man. South District, shit guy, 3rd.
All right.
Queen.
Later.
Run that shit back from the top. Yeah, man, you know me well, man. It's hard leather. I'm back. Brady. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah. South Jamaica 10 Ave representative. STAR, you ready for this run, or is your message just for relay? Now I'm out here to ask you.